Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Strength Syndicate podcast with myself, Shane Storey, and my co-host, Lawrence King. So today on the podcast, we are going to be doing a Nationals preview for the Irish Powerlifting Federation. So IPF Nationals is probably the biggest powerlifting competition that's on Ireland pretty much every year. It is going to be held in ABS Powerlifting on the 12th and 13th of March. So that's going to be next weekend from the time we're recording this, or recording on the Sunday before the actual competition. So today we're joined by coaches from around the country to give their kind of insight onto who they think is going to podium, who do think is going to do well. So to start off, I'm going to just go with who I can see first on my screen, right? So we have Alex Cremens. So Alex is from City Gym Limerick. He's competing in the under 66 class on the day as well. We have Connor Kiernan from ABS Powerlifting. He is a staple member of the ABS crew, not competing, unfortunately. We have Sean Crowe. Sean is from Strength Militia up north. We have Connor Campbell, who is representing Odyssey Strength. And we also have Ken, who is also representing Phenom Gym in Cork, but he's also going to be competing in the under 105 category. Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. How are we all getting on?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Smashing. Absolutely smashing.
Body's holding up well, hopefully, for the boys that are competing. Okay, lads, I think the best way to go about this is to obviously be gentlemen and let the ladies go first. So we have a good few weight classes to go through, so we may as well just get stuck into it. So we're going to start off with the under 47 weight class. So in that, we have Pa Mayon, we have Kim Murray, who is going to be representing ABS, and then Joanne Clark.
I think she's a bit conditioning there in Finglas. They're not far from, I think her and Kim are very similar on total in training so far. And then I think, what is it, Joanne? Is slightly lighter than Kim at the moment. I think there's about a kilo between the two of them. So it could come down to lot number, I suppose, on the day, if their numbers are neck and neck. I suppose with Kim, maybe she has a little bit more international experience, national stage experience, perhaps. As far as I know, this could be Joanne's first nationals.
Yeah.
So
I was quite experienced herself, and in the nomination, she's quite far ahead. Am I right? I don't know anything about her training though as well. She's kind of a dark horse at the same time.
Yeah, only 3 kilos separate her and Kim.
In total, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Has quite a horrific deadlift as well. Like, I mean, she's a huge deadlift, like, so it could come down to the last pull for the ladies. 47s anyway, definitely.
I think the experienced handler might come in as a bit clutch for Kim, because if she has Jay handling her, I'm sure he'll just do whatever's needed to place second. If she's looking for second, if she's looking for first, then she plays first. But having someone there that knows what to put on, and in them situations, can help.
Yeah, to spook someone.
We're not like really far ahead though.
Pa is, she's
like 30 kilos ahead.
Yeah, 30 kilos at that weight class is a big increase.
Yeah, 25 kilos ahead. Yeah, she's probably walking away with it. But we don't know what's going to happen. She hasn't been posting anything training wise, so don't know.
Good handler can make a huge difference. So you're right in what you say. So I wonder I wouldn't want to be going into a competition now myself with nobody behind me, even though, like I'd say, we're all in the same boat. We could have as much experience as you like, but when these nerves get to you on the day, you'd want somebody just steering the ship. So I wonder who she has in her corner with her. Could make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If she's getting handled by, say, Jack Peters could be handling her on a day, and like he's got like obviously some comp experience, and like Pla's been competing for quite a while. So like just looking at her open powerlifting, like she's done loads of comps nationals and international comps, as well as like competing in like the ABS series as well and the ABS Pro. So I think all of that will probably just stand to her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the big deadlift is just gonna like put her in front, because I think her deadlift something like 15, 20 kilos on top of anybody else. So it's like internationals, when you have a bigger deadlift, you always have the advantage.
When you can't like push and put pressure on people to make pretty outrageous jumps at the end, that's a really strong position to be literally pulling from.
Yeah.
Do we think Pa would come first?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
I'd imagine so.
So then the battle for second and third. I know from just from the polls I put up on my stories the other day, Pa was firm favourite and then followed closely by Kim. Anyway, so that's kind of what the polls seem to think.
I think Kim could pull it out on the day and just come in second and beat Joanne. So
yeah, I suppose it's hard to really kind of call, like when there's only 3 people in the class as well. Do we kind of have a consensus on that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, I think we can move on to the 52s then. Right, so in that we have Amy Dixon, Anna Hurahan, Dawn Stacey, and Anya O'Neill. Right, so that's called out in order of nomination as well. So guys, who we got?
Just judging by the difference in totals in the nominations, I think it kind of will stick to that sort of format. You know, just 22 kilos between Amy and Anna, and then there's 32 kilos between Dawn and Anna. So can't really see much changing.
Nomination total is from when she was a 57, though. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, was it 380 she totaled? The 57. Am I wrong in saying that?
380. At the 57. So over lockdown, we sort of had a goal of what Amy wanted to do going forward, and we sort of toyed around with a few ideas. And she decided that she wanted to cut down to the 52 as sort of just a personal goal for herself as well, and a chance to just compete against Anna. I mean, Anna's an absolute beast when it comes to the 52 class, and even from her junior competitions, first one I ever seen her in was in Texas, and to see her progress all the way through, it was just sort of something that I was going to get on board with. As long as Amy was happy, then, you know, we wouldn't cut down and give a challenge to Anna. And like I say, she's competed across ABS Pro International, so she's up for the challenge, and it's something that we're really looking forward to.
So the ABS lads can probably speak to this. She was actually the first, Conor Kieran will probably remember this, she was the first president of DCU Powerlifting back when you needed to have a staff member as a president. But she seems so rock solid. The competition doesn't shake her at all, Anna. So I'd say the experience it'll definitely stand to her. I don't know how it'll line up on the day. I suppose we don't know, but you can speak to that much better than I could.
Yeah, definitely. Comp experience makes the difference, especially if you're competing in your own gym. Massive difference.
That's true. Yeah,
massive difference.
It's definitely going to be one of the flights over the whole weekend that I'm looking forward to.
I wouldn't put Dawn out completely, because I think Dawn, even like her training has gotten so much better since actually moving to like City Gym. So I still would put her in like a podium position. I think if Amy maintains strength coming down from 57s, then she'll probably be kind of like up there with Anna. Maybe two of them battling for first and second. If Amy doesn't maintain strength or loses any bit of it, then I think she'll probably drop down into second, definitely, and then possibly Dawn could chip her and go into second place. So, but we'll see what kind of happens on the day in terms of that. But I think Anna's pretty much solid in first.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Dawn out too much, because like not that you were, but I've even with her training, like it really has blown up recently. Even I've seen myself, and like I wouldn't be surprised. It's kind of one of those things, if like, you know, if Dawn does hit like a 9 for 9 day and anyone else goes 6, 7 for 9, I wouldn't be surprised if she just kind of snuck in there and took first. But you never know.
Yeah, I think a lot of the flights are going to come down to who makes all their lifts, aren't they?
Yeah,
can't really afford to be missing lifts at a national level competition like. So in that class, do we have a consensus? So we thinking Anna first, and then battle in second and third for Amy and Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Say so, but you never know.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose. Sure. We'll see you in the day. Right. On to 57s next. All right. So in that we have Hazel Hu, Katie Coppinger, Jenny Wilson, Bree Foran, Lauren Milan, and Abby Houlihan. So just for the record, okay, the list I actually have at the moment, it's not including any masters lifters. So if I leave anybody out, or if anybody here can correct me for any masters that are added, do let me know. Okay. So with that, guys, who do we think is going to be the start of the show in this class?
Hazel.
Hazel.
Yeah.
They're dominant in the 57s, so hard to see anyone knocking her off that spot. Now,
Katie, I think Ken was probably going to say this. Katie is an animal. Like the amount of progress she's seen over, we were just saying, she hadn't stepped into a gym until 2019 and has just taken to it like a duck to water. And there was, these days, seeing her training, it looks like no matter what you put on the bar, she'll smash it. So there could be, you never know how these things work out, but there could be a situation where she could pull for the win, which I wouldn't count her out at all.
Even if you look at, like, say, her trajectory, like in the Compton City Gym in September, she put up a 357 total. And then literally 3 months later, last chance, she put up a 372 total. So even if she maintains that kind of progression, you could see her just kind of like edge up for like first place. Because I think, like, as much as like your training totals are your comp totals from your qualifiers, as good as they are, like, you could have made insane progression from those totals. So it'll be interesting to see who makes progression, who sticks, or who gets worse. So.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a real game day lifter as well. She really thrives on that energy and that support that we bring. I'm really looking forward to seeing her performance. This will be a stacked class no matter what. It will be a savage fight. So it's another one to really watch.
Yeah. I think she has a monster squad as well. I mean, it's one of the biggest squads in the class. Like you say, I was at the City Gym comp and she was up against Jenny, and then I seen her in the last chance, and she's one of the lifters in post lockdown that have been the most impressed with. She's made some amount of progress, so looking forward to that class.
Yeah. So we're thinking then Hazel for second, and reach a consensus on second and third for.
Yeah, I suppose Katie really is gunning for second, potentially could pull for first if Hazel one or two lifts. I think she could nip it in. Yeah, Jenny is fairly dominant there in third. Like it's quite linear there. And then obviously me and Lauren maybe could, if there's mistakes made, could potentially win.
Yeah, I suppose one thing as well that you mentioned about the qualifying totals, like the qualifying totals that we have up on the list that we're looking at, they are taking into account maybe some meets as well that may have been done like a year, like even like Nats 22, but Nats 2020 is taken into account in this as well. So, you know, people may have made leaps and bounds of progress in those kind of times. Like we'll probably see it as well towards some later weight classes as well. People who compete at Euros or Worlds who qualify with earlier totals and they haven't been updated. So, you know, we'll be surprising today as well with some of the kind of performances. Okay, sweet. So will we move on to the 63s next? So 63s, we have a pretty long list here. Not sure if everybody on it is going to be competing. So Michaela Leonard is ranked first. Then we have Gina McGrath. We have Sonita Raja, Bronam Goyer, Lynn Nguyen. We have Juliette Sweeney, Noreen McDermott. We have Catherine Kilmartin, Jane Jones, and Aoife Carvel. By the way, if I mispronounce anybody's name, don't take it personally.
Aoife Ní Cearúil, I've butchered that so many times. If you're listening, Aoife, I hope I even got that right.
Is everyone doing the 63s?
No, Michaela's not.
Michaela's not.
I didn't think Michaela was. Sonita's total, when is that from? That's the City Gym Open. When was that?
Yeah, that was in October. So she done 57 here, and then she went to Euros, and then she's just going to move up weight class for this competition. it's just better for her. She had so the October comp to Euros was sort of a short time period, obviously. So we had pretty much a bit tougher of a weight cut than we would hope for. So this one, I just decided that the best course of action was just to eat up into the class, and she's looking pretty good. Training's looking strong, so we're hopefully going to see a return to some big numbers for her.
Yeah, because I was watching, was it at Worlds? She nearly had a disaster with squats.
Yeah.
So I think she could put up a pretty big total, definitely improve on that 405. Not sure about Gina McGrath's training. I haven't seen anything from her. Has anyone seen anything? No. This is even when you have someone from nearly every gym and every club, some people will fall between the cracks, unfortunately.
At this level, a lot of people like to kind of keep to themselves and kind of wait till you pull it out on the day, which is great as well, but it kind of makes things like this a bit of a fucker. You can't even speculate.
Yeah. The one thing about Gina is she's a game day lifter, so this is going to be like her 4th nationals, and it's her opportunity to win her 1st nationals. So no doubt that she's down there working her ass off and making sure that she's covering all the bases to become national champion.
Yeah, with I suppose Michaela not doing it, it does really open
it up. Yeah. I think Gina and Sanisha will probably be going into it kind of neck and neck, just based off like their totals. I kind of side more with Sanisha if she's moving up a weight class, because like her 405 total was from back when she was 57s, and then like Worlds wasn't her best comp, but like if she's moving up the weight class, like you think that she would be slightly strong, like she would be stronger in the weight class that she's moving up into. Gina put up 410, I think, City Gym. Was it City Gym? Yeah. So Gina put up 410 at City Gym, which is only 5 kilos heavier than Sanisha when Sanisha was in a weight class below her. So like I would side more with Sanisha for that weight class than I would for Gina.
I think I'd agree with that, yeah, because it looked like
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, whenever she has competed, like it looked like there was a little bit more left in the tank, or maybe kilos left on the platform. So I'd say if Sunita goes 9 for 9, she'd be very difficult to beat within the 63s. Then I would say probably Gina second, even though she is going in with the higher nomination so far.
There's 2 in that class that are really slept on. It's their first kind of the big outing. Juliet Sweeney trains in Chaos. I'm not sure who she's coached by. I didn't recognize the team now on the sheet. And Aoife Nicariol is an absolute animal. This is her 2nd competition, and she's in nationals. Her first one was junior. Was it junior Nats?
Yeah,
I think it was that in City Gym. On track with 3rds. Would have walked away with it. The bit of experience and an issue with spotting and loading messed that up a little bit, but she's coming in super strong, and she is super calm on the game day. So she's one to kind of look out for sneaking in on the podium as well.
I think if they're trying to sneak in on the podium, there's like Brona Maguire is pretty hard to knock off the podium to sneak on, because she's still boasting like a 395 total, and she did 3 comps like back to back. In I think she did the September Open, she did a comp in Northern Ireland, and then she also did Last Chance all at the same time. So, and she only got better on each one. Like she went 365, 367, and then 395. So
192.
Yeah.
She matched the deadlift record as well. So I think that she's going to take a chance at breaking that.
Yeah.
So I'm with Michaela obviously not lifting, then I think that she has a really good chance, and with no pressure in terms of someone else coming behind you, so you don't have to worry about the lap number and chipping it in that way. So I think that she'll take a smash at the 193 or even more.
Yeah, I think this definitely going to be one of the classes that is like just kind of have to see on the day what happens realistically. Like,
I suppose universally though, we kind of have to say So I'm going to say Sunita. I think realistically it's between Gina, Sunita and Brona, and I suppose it's just who gets closest to 9 for 9.
Yeah.
I don't really see anyone troubling them too much for those 3 spots.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, it's a brand new national champion for 63 as well. It's going to be someone who's never won it before, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
To the 69.
69 is also going to be another very competitive class. So not on the list, but I think she's nominated first, is Niamh Savage.
Yeah.
Oh, she had an amazing performance a few months ago. Then we have Emma McDermott, ranked as number 2. We've Lotta Lieneberger. We have Jennifer Harrington. We have Joanne Coogan, Megan Fitzpatrick, Katrina Connolly, Elaine Boland, Karen Barry, and Kirsty McConaughey. I think I said that right. Okay, lads. So what are we thinking here? So Niamh and Emma have pretty much the same total at the moment.
They have the same total at the same body weight.
Yeah.
So they're actually both ranked in first.
Yeah. Well,
they're both 68.8.
Niamh is actually slightly lighter. So have you 66?
They were both 68.8 at their recent comp.
66.4. She don't have.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. 60.4. Okay. I think it will literally come down to who wants it more on the day. I think Emma's hard to beat. Niamh is very strong. So I don't know.
Relentless.
Today.
If it came down to a last poll, I think I'd fancy Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because she's fairly experienced in terms of, like, so is Niamh as well. Like, but I think if it came down to Emma having to pull an extra 2.5 kilos or something, I would be putting money on her potentially. But it is a toss up for first, I suppose, between Niamh and Emma.
Her training's going very well. Like, her squat looks like it's fine up too. So like I wouldn't be surprised if that did come down to the last pull between the two of them. Think though the spot for third is certainly going to be a very tight one. So we have Lotta on 400, Jen on 395.5, and Joanne Coogan at 395. And then I suppose we have Megan Fitzpatrick at 387.5. So we have
as well. Even like Katrina and Elaine are nominated 6 and 7, but they both made a lot of progress even in that space of time since they last competed.
Yeah, only about kilos between them.
Alex, has it been a while since Katrina competed? It seems like it has been, and she's made stupid progress.
Yeah, she did junior nats.
Yeah, that was
even since then. Her deadlifts in particular seem to have just blown up.
Yeah, no, things are going really, really good from her, from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, I suppose it's just that third place spot is going to be very ropey to watch. Kind of, I think last pull, because everyone there, I suppose Katrina out of the potential thirds has the biggest pull there by a considerable amount. Like, I mean, she's pulling close to 185 and potentially made that jump in strength north of 190. And I think maybe for her to consolidate that third place, if she did have to pull maybe an extra 2.5 or 5 kilos, she'd be the gal to do it. So I think first and second, Niamh and Emma. Going off Lot, I suppose we'd have to say Lotta. Yeah, Katrina, Joanne, Jen, like they're all within striking distance of it. Don't want to count anyone out there, but yeah, 60. I would agree with what Sean said there. Like, I think 63s and 69 women's will be fairly exciting to watch, just in terms of like the closest of everyone there. Everyone kind of in agreement there.
Yeah.
Okay. So 76 women's kind of one of the smaller categories again. Fortunately, Shannon Pollock sitting on 430. Shannon doing with Connor 100%.
Yes, she is. Yeah,
definitely doing it.
Yeah, I think everyone in that tree is doing it. Actually, no, there's someone else that's been added who posted up today.
Seen that?
I think Eileen Muldoon is down as the third nomination.
Yeah.
Karina.
What's the sitting at?
I think it's like 3-2. She had Nationals 2020, and then most recently 372 at the World Championships.
Okay.
382 is our best total. 72. Yeah. But that puts her third though. So
Yeah, I suppose we're talking Shannon, Louise, and then so he's sitting on 382. And
382 was Eileen Muldoon, but that was 2 years ago. Her most recent total is 372.5, which would actually put her in fourth.
so
If we're going off a recent total.
we could potentially nip a third place.
Yeah.
How is Karina? Is Karina striking lifter, Sean, is she?
Yeah. So her training's been going really well. And her squat has definitely been on the raise, along with her deadlift. So we've worked really hard on that during the last few months. So I'm gonna go with between Shannon and Louise. Obviously, they're gonna be battling out for first place, but I think Karina will slip in there for a third place spot.
I think because even at junior nats with that best total, is she going on for 9 at junior nats?
8 for 9. So she missed a bench.
So there is still maybe
But,
quite.
The thing is, with the juniors, they can make like crazy progress in like 6 months. Where Eileen's a master, so it's obviously it slows down a bit. And I just think that Karina's progress over the past sort of year has been great. I mean, during lockdown, obviously it was sort of stalled, so she didn't really get training at all. So it was just playing catch up the last year, as most lifters have been doing. But I think, yeah, she's on course for an overall total PB anyway.
So I suppose realistically, 76s we kind of have to assume Shannon's going to be first, Louise in second, and then potentially Karina or Elaine. Was it Elaine? Was the fourth lady?
Eileen.
Battle between them for third.
I would agree.
Yeah. Louise would probably win that class, to be honest, ahead of Shannon. Sorry for listening, Shannon. It's an opinion podcast, but her training's just been more consistent. You know, she's competed far more frequently over the last year. So for that reason, I'd probably put Louise in the top spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say as well, even like her comp here with the 390 from the last chance. I remember watching that, and like everything was super sub max. Like it was just kind of.
It was just to qualify. I think she'd just done that.
Yeah, she just did Dabs Pro, like.
Yeah.
You know, and didn't she total 500 at that?
Yeah.
Albeit in wraps, you know, but like still.
Yeah, Louise is yeah, she'll definitely do more than 390.
Yeah, it's pretty much over. It's like.
You know, Shannon's total at pro was changed.
Sorry?
You know what Shannon Pollock's total at pro was? Connor, you there quick maths.
432.
432 at pro.
Yeah.
Wraps, Connor, can you remember?
Yeah, she wasn't she?
She did, yeah. I think she squatted like 150, was it? I think she made Mr. Third spot.
Yeah, 160.
Okay.
So we could lose that 390, like, or being in the second lot. She could be right up there. So we could see much bigger battle for first there in the 76s maybe than I suppose you would look at on paper. Okay, so moving to the under 84s, I think the under 84s is again going to be cool one to watch for first between Ali and Listus. Now Listus was after getting crazy
strong.
Depressingly quick gains for everyone watching her. Great, like nice to watch her get stronger, but
soul shattering that you're not getting stronger instead.
Then she benched 100 kilos or something like that a few months ago, and she took like 115 there last week or something for fucking
I think she hit 117 recently as well.
That's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
at 455 at Euros, I'd say we could see her
She could do 500.
very close to 5. Yeah, I'm going to say 490 maybe.
Nah, man, I'm serious. I think she'll probably do about 500 kilotons.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
If she squats 190, benches 120, and deadlifts 190, she's done the squat and the deadlift already in training. That's a 500 total.
Yeah, so I'd say between definitely over 490 in Europe. I suppose Ali is kind of in around the knocking a second. Hard to see Listus not go close to 9, at least close for 9 for 9 anyway. Like her training is done to very high comp standards, and she's a fair bit, like she's international experience already. And she did junior national as well, first went in running for also, so she's a very good track record.
I suppose Ali has years of experience though, you know, so can't kind of rule that out. Like, you know, big competition. This is, I suppose, having done Euros, I mean, that is a big competition for Listus, but at the same time, like this is going to be packed, like, you know, how Nationals is very loud. So you have to kind of feed off that energy as well. So I'd say it would be tight enough.
I think it will come down to who's better on the day. I think obviously Listus is going into this like being very, very strong, but Ali's going into this being very experienced as well.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm very strong.
Yeah, and also very strong. Like, I wouldn't necessarily count Ali out. I would give my benefit to Listus just based off just sheer brute strength. It's just brute strength and just constantly, consistently getting better very, very quickly, like right now.
I think it has such momentum.
Yeah.
Training, kind of, she's very exciting to watch competing.
Yeah.
And I suppose, like you said, like look, Ali has a ton of experience. And if she's able to knock on another few kilos onto that, maybe if Listus maybe makes a mistake, she could definitely. And so I suppose Listus, we have to be kind of, you could fairly easily see her total close to 500, as Connor said, and then Ali, maybe if she has made that jump from Nats in 2020, which is not unreasonable for someone to put on maybe 10, 15 kilos, 20 kilos in their total in 2 years. So we'll see her in the ballpark of Listus. So I think it'll be closer maybe than people think it will. For first and second, but I do think maybe Listus thinks it. Then in third is actually pretty close. I mean, you've Orla, Quiva, and Darren there all in knocking distance, and Darren's gotten a fair bit stronger as well since her last day out. Quiva Young is an abs Kilkenny lifter, I think. Yeah, so I'm fairly sure she's about 18 or 19 as well.
18, yeah.
Yeah, she is really young. So she's under Shannon and Abs Kilkenny. So I think Quiva could put a little bit of pressure on Darren. Because I think from junior nationals, Quiva's lifts were pretty easy as well, from what I recollect. So I think Darren is a lot stronger, so I would probably give Darren the benefit of the doubt, but you could see Quiva put a bit of pressure on her for third.
Did Quiva Young, what weight class did she do her qualifying total at junior?
84s. Orla did hers at 76s though. She could have gotten stronger from there, but I would probably put my money on Darren for third, just because her deadlift's pretty good.
Yeah, the deadlift will make the difference. Heavier deadlift and pull for podium or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose we're in agreement there. So maybe for under 84s, Listus probably first, Ali second, and then we're probably guessing there maybe third.
Yeah.
Okay, 84 plus. So in this one we have Sarah Gardner, Tiana Watts, Claire Patterson, Donna Ivy, Hannah McKee, Tracy Kelly, and Sandra Masterson. So
actually, lads, has Claire Patterson gone down in weight class?
I think she might be doing.
She went up.
4.
She's gone up.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, because I knew she.
Okay. Cool.
Somewhere. Okay. I suppose really with Sarah, it's very hard to see anyone kind of nipping her. I think she pulled, Alex, what she pulled there recently, 200.
200 there the other day, yeah. Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should break 500 this comp.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, definitely.
Nice.
She's looking really good coming into this.
Her training's going well, so it's kind of hard to see Sarah not take first. And I suppose with a 500 kilo total as well, it's pretty nice way to talk.
Yeah,
It's not going to be the exact same with the nominations. It'll probably be Sarah in first, Tiana in second, and Claire in third.
Yeah. There's such a big gap between Claire and Donna as well that I can't really see that being closed. Like 27 kilos is a lot to catch up on.
And Donna isn't competing anymore.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yeah, fairly sealed.
Claire Patterson, what weight was that total set at? Would anyone have a rough idea?
84 plus.
I think
84.
no, that's a Nats 2020 total though. Did she do 84 plus then?
She did
Nah.
84 plus recently, but she still didn't total anything close.
One last chance.
Yeah.
Nats 2020 total is she done at 72, but that's not the same. I think there's just a typo there in that.
Yeah. Like her Nats total is like 410, but her last chance total is like 447. So
Yeah, that's one of the tiers on the list.
Mhm.
So that was that last chance she went 440.
Yeah.
And she didn't go 9 for 9 or anything like that. It was kind of I think she missed a few squats and a bench as well. Like, so if she can put it together in a day, like, it's a way bigger total there.
That's what I was, because when I saw 447.5, I thought that was from a little bit more recent.
Yeah.
I think because like she missed 2 squats
Yeah.
and she missed 1 bench. Based off her training at the moment, I think if she has a very good day, goes close enough to 9 for 9, I think possibly could push Tiana. But I think Tiana is going in with a stronger squat.
Yeah.
Like the bench is a fair bit behind, but the difference in the bench is Tiana makes up in the deadlift. So even if Claire benches like 125, 127, Tiana could still bench 107. So she's still only 20 kilos behind. And then Claire will probably deadlift between 160 and 170, but Tiana will deadlift between 180 and 190 and will also be ahead on squat anyway. So I can't really see Claire breaking that gap easily. Tiana is also more comfortable at the weight class. So
Has Tiana had issues with hitting depth in squats and getting all of her attempts? Well, I could be wrong, but I think it was the City Gym Open last year she competed?
Yeah.
And there was some issues there.
She missed her opener and then got the second one. But again, it's just one of those things. You know, she's been working hard. We've been working hard rectifying that, so hopefully it isn't an issue going into this comp. So we should see a solid day out of her. I think with Claire, she's going to go in and set a monster bench record anyway. So she probably could hit 125, one and above on the bench, which would be enormous for sort of the 84 pluses.
Do you have a consensus on that one then?
I was about to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have to give it to Sarah. She's crazy squat, very, very decent bench still, and with a 200 kilo pull there potentially if she needs it. Could see her break 5, Alex, like you said, which would be cool to see potentially an under 84 and an over 84 go take 500 is pretty insane.
World.
Okay, so then we're on to the Buckley.
Okay, so I think we can just take the next minute to congratulate Tanzib on becoming under 59 national champion for the 2nd time in a row.
Has to make way first.
That's true, yeah.
Well, no, it's not. It's Cahill fucking, or what was your man's name from, boss man's name from Abs Galway, Turner?
Nah, I don't think he's doing it. It was too late to register a total.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, sure. It was only last week.
I'm gonna, like, as just a observer of powerlifting, I do think it's kind of bollocks that, like, even up till now, like, I would have loved to have seen William Clark in the 93s and that guy in the 59s, I would have liked. Do you know what? There's a few.
Yeah, would agree.
There's a few guys there. I still think it could have been. There's a few people I would have liked to have seen going, but anyway, look.
Oh, they should have done last chance then. Literally says it on the tin. Last chance.
I don't know.
Well, it's hard enough to get a ticket for last chance, so I'd say. And
3 platforms would be grand.
yeah.
I think that's consensus there. Tanzib for number 1. All right.
He's firmly there. Is our Tanzib? He's number 159 there, 2 years running, like so.
Right. So on to the 66s then, right? Alex, you kind of
Cheshire.
Right. So ranked at number 1, we have Alex Cremens. Then we have Mark Escabarte. We have Connor Gelston, Daniel Nolan, Owen Cantillon Man. Squat man. Brendan Foodie and Kahir McGrory. So
I got fucking eaten alive on the live stream there. Fucking the City Gym meet there recently. It's Car. So Alex, your top seed going in. Very hard to see you get knocked off. Realistically, I suppose you have a very dominant pull as well. So even if someone caught up to you in squat or bench, it's very hard to see. Very hard to see anyone catching you. Would Mark maybe make up that gap? Then for third, Connor Gelston. Anyone know anything about Cahir? No. Okay, lads, we're fucking useless. Like Jesus.
Like I know the lads. Like say I know Connor, but like I only know people from shooting comps. So like I know everyone's name. Because like I have lots of pictures of them on my phone.
It's 2004. How do you do?
So Connor Gelston is like an NIPF lifter. He's pretty far ahead of like everyone else. So I think he'll just sit nicely in third. I'd agree that I can't really see anyone beating Alex.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say for third place there, I think Squatman's a good contender as well, man. He's or Owen, man. He's made lots of progress recently. Like he really has. So he put about, I'd say, about 30-40 kilos in his total since the last chance alone. Like so, big contender there.
Yeah, I think anybody who's a junior and has competed like 6 months ago, like has the ability to put a lot of kilos on their total in that kind of time frame. You know, especially if it's their first few competitions. So,
and you're literally still probably going through puberty as well if you're
yeah.
Then
going through puberty over here.
I wish I still had that hack.
Yeah, I mean, look, Alex, God bless you. It's kind of hard to see anyone knocking off it. Mark Escabarte, firmly in second. Mark is a pretty big pull as well. Gelston and Owen Man, David Nolan, obviously still potentially in thereabouts. But yeah, 66 is Alex, Mark, and then
if this is the Daniel Nolan that trains out of Phenom, which I think it is, I would say he could put a little bit onto his total based off the training he does in Phenom. Like he's not a Phenom lifter, but he like lifts out of the gym if it's the same Daniel Nolan. So I think he could have maybe put on a little bit more onto his total because he had the same total as like Owen Man going in, but he would be the same person now that could have put on like say 20-30 kilos onto his total from last chance because he's also quite young as well. So I wouldn't count Daniel out, but it depends on where his head is at on the day of the comp. So yeah,
saying whoever goes 9 for 9 is probably going to
yeah.
Okay, right, 74s. So the Sean McGrory, I believe, is not doing it as I saw him do 3 sets of 7 today on his squats with 170. He's probably not doing it. Then we've the great and powerful Josh Boyle of Abs Galway. He's sitting. He has the open record total as stands. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So he's gotten a bit stronger. His training seems to be going well. Probably see him nip that again, nip upwards. Callum O'Mahony, he is an Odyssey lifter. Training, he kind of left a little bit behind him at Junior Nats. And based off training footage, the squats look fairly good, but borderline in terms of depth. So I think we could see Josh and Callum kind of neck and neck there. Callum did leave some kilos behind him.
Don't count out Adam Dwan, man. Fella's a freak.
Yeah, I
What is
train
the open 74 record? Sorry.
Adam Dwan's like the phenom lifter, and he's like, say, our sponsored athlete. And like, as biased as I am, the guy is literally a walking embodiment of a tiny Superman. Like, he is the most jacked person I have ever seen, and he's also one of the most hardworking people that I've ever seen. Because, like, again, my approach to training is pretty much the lowest amount of work I can do is brilliant. Like, I think I skated away on like training once every few weeks over last year, and like, but Adam's like in there all the time. Like, because I met him first at like the AB series, and he went from like his first comp into Pro-Am, and then went straight into Last Chance, and he was on for like a very good total, but it was his first IPF comp, and it was only his second comp ever, and he still put up like a 595 total. And based off his numbers,
did he go 9 for 9 at that?
No, he went 7 for 9. He missed the bench, and he missed his last deadlift. And he missed his last deadlift because he tore his thumb open putting on his belt.
Oh,
yeah.
That could be a ropier one there. So for Josh Plinchley.
He was also super light that comp as well, wasn't he? Like, it was 67 or 68 kilos or something.
Yeah, he was 68 kilos at the comp. So we've finally gotten him to get it up closer to like 74. So, and it's going pretty well. Like, his squat's gone up loads, his bench has gone up loads, and his deadlift is doing really well as well. So I think he's in for a very, very good total. And he's being handled by Jimmy, James McCarthy, for the comp. So James is a pretty good game day handler, and Adam's a very good game day lifter. So
I favor.
Sorry, Lawrence, you said did you say Josh had the open records at the moment, is it?
That's what I asked.
Do you know what the total is like?
618.
I think he has the open 74 total record, Josh.
Because Callum O'Mahony totaled 640 in training at about a 7 or an 8 last week. He is an animal. I don't understand it, because he's so tall and so skinny and so light, but just moves a shit ton of weight, even on the bench. But he'll pull north of 280. If the squat depth is there, he'll squat north of 240. Yeah. The bench,
I suppose
bench is just that yoke, isn't it?
Yeah. The depth going in, because it did kind of cost. Yeah. And I suppose when you're a lifter going in at that level, and it doesn't look like his squat depth has improved based off of training footage. I mean, we've said it before on the podcast with people about depth going in, and it has cost them, not at previous meets, like it has cost them. So I think at this level, the judging is going to be so strict, you do not want to be leaving.
There's no room for error at all. Yeah.
I think Adam, I would, just based off previous experience, like I'm going to go with Josh, because I think while Adam probably has made jumps in performance and Callum have made jumps in performance, I think Josh will probably be the one in terms of like being the most consistent across the board, unless Adam or Callum can pull it out the bag. But I will go one Josh, if you're based off what you're saying there. Connor, I suppose we'll say maybe potentially Callum could nip him, but and then Adam potentially third. Would we agree with that?
I'd say whichever one of them has a great day.
We'll go with anyway. You're saying Adam has it.
No, I'm not saying Adam has it. I'm saying whichever one of them has a great day will have it. So whichever one of them breaks the national record.
We'll follow that euphemism of whoever goes 9 for 9, I suppose.
Yes.
That's that. Like, I mean, ultimately, and I think that's the beauty of it, is at that level where you have so many lads neck and neck. It's who fucks up on the day is going to be the one. But I suppose we kind of have to go back to who's gone 9 for 9, who has that kind of neck to push on. Okay, so then we're on to 83s.
I think this can be pretty tight for 1 and 2.
I think.
I think so.
Yeah, based off toasters. Yeah, Eon. Sorry for anyone that doesn't.
Ewan, it's Ewan.
Yeah, Eon. He's his 83. His 83 during that total was in September, wasn't it? And he's probably added the 30 years.
Man, he's gonna be doing 700 kilo total here.
Yeah, so he's sitting around 700 kilos. Could potentially pull 3.
He has.
Yeah, like, yeah. So I mean, that is 3.
If that was a secret or not? Oh shit!
Out of the bag.
Then Martin Reedy's total is 613.5. He has totaled.
He totaled 682 at Euro.
Yeah, it was 682 at Worlds.
Oh, Worlds, sorry. Yeah, 682 Worlds. Just not updated on the sheet.
Yeah.
He's like going off lap number. We obviously have to count Marty in there. But I would be, if I was a gambling man, I'd probably go Toaster, then Marty. Marty's obviously a very experienced lifter as well. Like, old Jardo, I suppose we have to give an honourable mention to as well.
I don't think he's doing it.
Is he not?
I don't think
He's
so.
entered in though.
Yeah, but I think something on his Instagram came up the other day, and I don't think he's. I'm not sure. Like, you know,
Yeah, because I saw that as
show
well.
up on the day and have the best day of his life.
Jardo, you could land in and start doing fucking handstands and
Until I see it, I assume he's doing it.
And he could cut 10 kilos and have the best performance of his life. Walk away with the win.
Alex, you can see Jardo on 66s inside.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised when he rocked up. Yeah.
Aaron Moore, does anyone know where he is?
As far as I know, he's doing it, but I could be wrong. But as far as I know, he is doing it, and his training's looking really good. So yeah, I'd kind of put him up there second, based off his training.
I don't think.
Third based off his training.
I don't think Tom Lynch is doing it.
He is.
He is.
Pretty sure he is. Yeah.
Really? Okay. He is actually. Yeah, he was training this morning. What am I saying?
Yeah.
So he's, if Jardo isn't doing it, I suppose it is kind of a toss up for third between Aaron and Tom.
Yeah.
We'll probably see. I think Toaster will be very hard to beat. Like, he's going to be knocking on 700. And then obviously Marty is Toaster.
He's pretty stubborn though in terms of like competition, so he could push Yuan for first place. So I wouldn't completely count him out.
And that's what I'm saying. I definitely wouldn't count him out. He's very, very experienced and strong as well. Like, I mean, he's technically lap number 1.
Mm-hmm. One thing that we haven't mentioned yet that will pay a lot into account, but we should take into account, is if someone does break a national record, they've got 0.5 over the next lifter, which is the equivalent to 2.5 kilos on another lift. Mm-hmm. So if someone like Toaster comes along and benches the national record, that could put him in a much better position for him to beat Reedy.
But what's the national record deadlift?
It's Martin Reedy's, I think. You think he's pulled it?
It's not Damien's, no?
Yeah, I think it's Damien's.
Damien's, yeah. I'd be talking bench and squat, maybe.
Yeah, for bench potentially, because I'd say the bench record would be
170.5, I think.
Oh yeah, that's Mark Humusky.
And then the squat record, I'm not sure about it. It's Damien as well. So
probably Damien as well. Sure, he got 287.
He's an Ulster junior though, so he could break the junior record.
He can't chip it though.
Oh yeah.
So I suppose we're universally in agreement there with. Yeah, those records where I suppose squat and deadlift records are pretty safe anyway.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
Then the 93s. The 93s are pretty stacked as well, with some beautiful strong men. As it stands, one of them there in the top left hand corner, the peaky smile and the Irish powerlifting. Okay, so 93 men's, the one, the only beautiful, the charismatic Keane Madden, I suppose, is firmly number one. He's gotten a lot stronger since Euros. Squat's taking a jump, dead's taking a jump, definitely.
He's taking a jump as well.
Literally going to PR everything. So
Yeah.
kind of hard to see him not take first. Matthew Henry is second, like closely on his tail.
Matthew Henry has a better squat and deadlift than based off like what I can see on open powerlifting. But based off what I know about Keane, I would say his squat is not the same as on open powerlifting.
He's been smoking his squats and training. Like it's depressing to watch.
It's like whatever weight you put on his back, he just moves the exact same.
But at like they're from like 220 up, it just the bar speed just does not go down. He's depressing. As Shane said, he's just depressing to watch squatting. Great guy, just like kind of like Listus in a way. Like it's just like you just see them move through time and space differently to everyone else. Yeah, but like I said, Matthew Henry, very strong guy, nice guy, good lifter, but just I think he's firmly solidified there in second. He's joined ABS recently. I think he's up there, Gav as well. So he will, I would imagine he will go 9 to 9 and put a wee bit of pressure on Keane, but I think Keane could be very close to a number between 7 and 9 in terms of 100 kilo total. So he'd be very hard to beat. Jay Kaga, how's his training going, Alexis?
Really good. Like even here, but he's like 700 total. That he got nominated with the City Gym Open. Like he's put like 25, 30 kilos on his squat alone since then. Wow. So he's gonna total way more than 700. He won't be up by the two lads, but definitely I think he's got solid third place. Don't think anyone else can catch him.
I think it was a great move for him moving up as well. From the age trees, like he's a tall guy, like, and even like you said, like his total reflects that. So I'd say he's solid third there. Honorable mention to Spain Storey there as well, though, in fairness, like old Spain could see a solid fourth there as well.
Solid four. I'd have to give one to Adam Loughnane out of Phenom. So like he could chip Shane based off his current training. Yeah. I think Shane's solidly like in fourth place, but if Adam has a very good day and Shane misses a lift, then
how's your squad at the last chance Spain?
245.
245. So you're gonna nip that, you're gonna PEB bench, and I don't know. I think Shane's gonna total 685.
I wouldn't write off Andrew Rowe. His train looks like it's going very, very nicely as well.
This is it. Andrew's a weird one. He's been off for a good long time, but he's done some silly things. So I know his goal is just to come in, have the crack, and kind of represent himself well. But in doing that, I know he's squatted 272 in training. He's benched north of 170. He's pulled, I can't remember, but he's pulled something considerable. I think Andrew does best when he's just having the crack and he's having fun. So coming in without that pressure on him is probably ideal. So, but it is a stacked class, so I think it'll be a good one to watch no matter what.
1, 2, 3 there fairly solid, and I'm biased and my boy going forward anyway, I suppose. So okay, 105s. There's a photographer from Cork that's sitting firmly in first there. I heard he trains once a month at the moment, following the minimum effective training dose program for a long while.
Bottoms up periodization
seems to have got his act together.
What changed, Ken? What
I train
happened?
more than once a month now. I train solidly like 3 times a week now. My body's not doing too well with 3 times a week, so we're probably going to drop it back down after nationals. 3 times a week is a lot of training, but we'll drop it back down to like 1 or 2.
I'm not sure if you're joking or not.
I'm not.
Being serious. Like, if you think about it, he was training once or twice. What was it? What were you saying to me? Like, once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks?
Yeah. So basically, when I moved to Odyssey and I was training with Adam, it was like, I basically told him, I was like, look, I can't commit to training like throughout a week. I was like, can we try, my training week can be between 10 and like 21 days. So like, as long as I get my 3 days of training done within that time period, it's fine. So that kind of worked for me for a long time. And then we're coming close to comps, because like if you train like, say, a training week every like 14, 21 days, you're never going to finish a block ever. So he was like, we'll just try and increase it to like finish your training week within 10 days. And then it turned into finish your training week within 7 days, which is what I'm doing now.
The drastic increase in overall training volume, what we're doing, so it does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
I think the 105s is just a very strong class overall. I think like you have a rake of lads there over 700. A lot of 300 kilo pulls. Dammy, freaky pull, you freaky pull, Jack Thornton. Probably pull north of 310 anyway as well, Alex, won't he?
Definitely, yeah. He pulled 315 his last complex, so
well,
there's sumo as well, and it looks good.
yeah, it's class. Holding up very nicely.
Ryan McCann, well over 300 pull. Mark Allen.
Jack Brown is a quiet one. He just comes into chaos, doesn't say a word, would load 300 and leave before you even say hello to him. He is a savage pull in him. I don't know what a squat or bench is like, but it'll be 1, 2, 3 is good, and 4, 5, and 6, 7 is savage in the 105s, because you're looking at Anthony McLegan coming in as well.
Yes.
Load 300 kilos and say that, and I assume you'd say loads 300 kilos and actually do the rep rather than leaving it there for someone else to know that.
You wouldn't know with this man.
Yeah, like, I mean, everyone in that class is a very good lifter. There's no one there that you'd be kind of like they're there to fill numbers. Everyone there is strong and well capable of pushing the man in front of them. How's Melvin's training gone in terms of?
So he moved away from Limerick. He moved and he was basically training out in like a little gazebo he's back out in last month and a half. And then it like blew away on him a few weeks ago as well. So he was kind of basically just training out in the back garden. And then I think like 2 weeks ago or like a week and a half ago, he got COVID as well. So like the whole world is against him this prep, but he still looked like he's coming into it great from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, I think the 105s, Danny's 750 words total. He's going to put a lot on that.
Yeah, that doesn't represent.
Yeah, like a 775 total going into the comp though.
Yeah,
so Dammy has like a 775 total. It's like 775.5, and then Melvin has a 775, and I think Anthony McLegan
782, isn't it? Or 792 and a half, Anthony McLegan.
Yeah. So I think like with the top 5, I think whoever has a great day wins the comp. And then it's down to whoever misses will just go into second. Whoever misses more goes into third, and then it'll go from there.
Right.
So
I definitely agree with that. I think in terms of going 9 for 9, I suppose you went 9 for 9 at that 805 comp, Ken. Did you not?
And 8. I benched my second, and I had nothing left. Right. And so I benched the third that I know wasn't there. Because like I finished my second and I was like, oh, I can't really feel my wrist. And
okay.
I kind of probably should take a third. And then I was like, the lowest I could take was like 2.5. And then I took 2.5. I unracked it, went down, And then I was like, yeah, my wrist can't press this. So that was it.
Okay. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to the 105s, as you said there. I will fall back on it again. Whoever goes 9 for 9 is
Yeah.
Dammy's a freaky pull as well. So he probably see Dammy fairly close to 350 lads potentially could be like in that ballpark. So I think it would be cool to watch it, whatever he pulls in his third, regardless of how the rest of it goes. Okay.
His squat and his bench has gone up as well. So I will give that to Dammy. Like his training's gone really, really well going into this comp. I think between him, myself, and Anthony McLegan, I think between those three, like you'll probably have whoever wins the comp. And then I think between Jack, Melvin, I wouldn't even count Melvin out because like even with the COVID, I still think he could push into third place.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. So that's the under 105s. Under 120s. I think the battle for first there is going to be who goes 9 for 9. Stell's gotten an awful lot stronger since.
You don't say.
Like he pulled a fucking or like a 300 like an empty bar. Or was it? What was it? Connor, was it
300.5, wasn't it?
I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, the other day, and then he pulled 310 there a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But we're also missing a name off this. Is there not a master 120?
Colin Power.
Yeah.
He should be doing it too.
Yeah.
Shake up.
and his training's been going really well since he moved to City Gym as well.
Yeah, really, really well.
What's he sitting at in terms of total?
775.
Like a 785, 790 training total a few weeks ago, or even a week or two ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be pushing to 8, like.
Yeah, we can see Stell pushing to 8 as well, and Owen Turner's another one that's like he missed his last pull at junior nats, and I think what did he jump like 30 kilos?
Yeah, we took like a fucking 27 kilo jump or something like that.
And he was
ridiculous.
close.
I think
he
He was
close.
so close.
Yeah,
He had no right to get it. But yeah, no, Turner's definitely one as well. Like he's gotten on like all 3 lifts, they've gotten way stronger since junior nationals alone. So he's a lad that could be tipping near the 800 mark as well, which is insane.
He's another fella that's depressing to watch squat.
Yeah. Everything looks the exact same. It's ridiculous.
Then obviously Jorah's in second on lot. I just think with Colin Power being so strong and Stell taking the Stell just being fucking Stell really to be honest. I'd say Stell go close to 800.
If not 800.
800, yeah. Like he's just built different. Then so could potentially see Jor in third, but I think Owen Turner is probably going to nip Jor off the podium. I think Owen could squat well over 3 even, and pull. He could pull 3 as well, realistically, couldn't he?
Like the deadlift that he failed at the last comp, he got 307 basically to lock out and then just missed it. So a bit more than 3.
Yeah, that's having to go off. So I mean, he could.
And like he put a lot of pressure on Mark at junior nationals as well. I don't think a lot of people seem to realize that as well. It was kind of, even for myself, it was the first time I seen Mark kind of, like looked like he was under a tiny bit of pressure. So it was good to see, good for both of them really. But it's cool to see that again.
But the other thing was that Stell's last deadlift at junior nats was like a fucking.
Yeah.
I remember watching him come out to pull that third, and it was just
300, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there was just gasps with how fast he moved. So I think Stell will potentially pull whatever he needs to pull for first. I reckon, because his cards are close. And then I do think Owen, if Colin puts up the training total he has, I think Owen is there for third. Maybe just nipping Jor out, but I suppose Jor could still maybe find himself there. Everyone else,
he is a showman as well. So he lives off the hype. So you never know what could happen.
So I think, and again, I suppose,
He's a bit of a bigger deadlift out of the lot anyway as well, doesn't he?
yeah, he pulled it
Depending
off.
on what Mark can pull, like, but yeah,
You know,
so you could kind of go for that.
yeah. So I think we could see an interesting under 120 class as well. And then finally, I suppose, to wrap it all up,
Heavies.
the super heavies, I suppose there's one name there that's just kind of
Heads above the rest.
sitting sweetly in number one.
I train with James pretty much all the time. I can't see anyone beating him. I can't even see James from last year beating James from this year.
Yeah, his squat has taken such a jump, and I think for already someone that was squatting 300 kilos to see them add 30 or 40 kilos onto their squat in such a short time. Like, he always looked like he'd the capability of squatting well north of 3, but to see the jump he's taken in his squat, I think at that level already is very impressive.
And he's got some pretty sizable numbers like planned for the comp. So it'll be interesting to see if he loads them. And if he loads them, it'll be interesting to see what the new standard of total will be for that class.
But he's the biggest in Irish history, right?
Yeah.
Biggest just total flat out.
In the Irish PF, yeah.
I would like to see James push himself in this, because there's no one close. Like, it is in the 120s is the James McCarthy show, really. Like, so I think we all just want to see James fucking total 900. We just want to see a 353rd on squat and bench, load up 2 on the bench, and whatever the fuck else happens, let it be. So James, we want 9.
Please, James.
Let him know.
Yeah, you let him know. We want 9.
I'd give big Kevin Lefford from Chaos a shout, just because he's a massive squat and he's an absolute gent. Now, James is very far out in front, but Kev is a sound man and he's a strong cunt. Kevin Lefford, he'll squat north of 270. I know for the class, but a big sound man.
Yeah. John Slatter there of Abs Kilkenny as well. I think he's a fucking fairly spicy bench. He's a 2 in bench or something. He looks very firmly in second there based off that, and he probably will improve on his abs open performance. But yeah, James, anyway, when you do hear this 900 kilo third, please. Anyone else? Any fucking, I don't know, spicy contracts?
Jack Heffernan is an honourable mention, because it's his first Open Nats, but he's also been powerlifting for about a year, and he's like 19. Also that total as well, he's put about 40 kilos on that since then as well. Just definitely an honourable mention. Like first Nats, still a Baba basically. So lots to come from him in the future, definitely.
You say Baba, this man looks is a fucking fully fledged man. Like he is literally a walk American.
Looks like my father, and I'm walking down the road.
He's a younger version of James McCarthy. Like, they look so similar. And like, we talk about it all the time in the gym, that he literally just reminds me so much of James.
Yeah, man.
He's a big boy.
Super hard worker as well. One of the hardest workers I've probably ever come across. Class to see.
He could be one to watch. Okay, anything they want to say to stir shit before this goes live? No.
Make sure you make way.
Yeah.
All our work goes to shit.
Squat to depth, say your prayers.
Go 9
Have
for
fun
9.
on the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suppose this obviously is an opinion podcast, so we're gonna rustle some jimmies.
Oh yeah, who are we saying for fucking best overall male and female? Because that has like.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go.
Whoever wins the 105s for the male anyway, I'd say.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it IPF points? It's
Keane actually. Keane could be one.
I think it's between Keane, Ken, and Dami for the male best overall. Toaster could sneak in there as well, though. If he does something crazy, like, and then female, you're looking at this really. This if she does what she's capable of doing, then I can't see anyone really beating her on score.
Like, I would have to give potential to male best lifter to maybe Keane. I think he could be, if all goes his way, around of 5-finger dots. And I think then potentially Ken or Danny as well. Obviously, I mean, if you're sitting at 105 and you're total north of 800, you have to be thereabouts. So I think Ken, I would agree. Ken, Key, and Danny are going to be my picks for overall best lifter.
I think for female best lifter, I would not count out Sunita.
Yeah.
Just because like she's sitting on, I think, like a 470 something dots.
Yeah, she's got the second highest dots here in
Yeah.
the earth for a female, just below Brona.
So, because like even if Listis goes 500 in the 84s, it still wouldn't put her up over like a 470.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, if Listis does 584, I think he gives her a 460 dots. So I think with Sunita, like you said, if she goes, like she would be well capable of 420 at 63 odd, maybe more. Well, no, 420 at 63 would give Sunita a 450 dots.
And then Emma as well. Emma would be well above the dots.
Yeah, well over 450 in anyways.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Emma 475 dots.
That's wraps.
It's still her squat. The squat that I seen her doing recently was like 160, and it was
Emma's 440 or
yeah.
That's 440 at 69 in about 450 dots.
She's done 450 raw an ab series. She weighed 69.3, but she got 457 dots. So
yeah,
kind of.
Neve Savage also has like a 458 dots going into this. So like in terms of like the people that are entered, like Sunita's sitting in first comfortably with like a 470 dots, and then Neve with a 458, Hazel with a 454, Emma with a 450, and then Anna with a 440, 441. So
yeah,
Hazel can't be counted out either because she's obviously she's an OG, and she's you know, you never know what she's going to come in with because you don't really ever see any of her training posted or anything. So she went away in 2019 and then come back again and won national championship and put like 10 kilos on her total. So who knows if she hits over a 400 even. You know, she could be right there in first place for the overall.
And how far off 400 do we think Hazel will be?
I think she'll be right there. I mean, her training seems to, well, as I say, I don't see her training, but like coming into last nationals, she put like 10 kilo on previous year. So if she's even like say 5 kilo, 7.5 kilo up on that total from 2 years ago, which would give her a 400.
Yeah,
I'd say I would be right up there with like the overall best.
Yeah, that's like if she's close to 400, then we go to 465 dots as well. So, yeah, I think the overall female is more, the overall women's is a lot more open. There's a lot of things around that 460, 475 threshold. I think whoever wins needs about 470 to actually solidify it. But there's it is pretty wide open there. Is that it? Is there any other awards? Most certainly.
Best club.
I think that's best club. Abs, obviously.
Lads.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah, Jay said to mention that in the podcast, so
tell Jay there now he got the plug.
I think that pretty much wraps everything up then. So yeah, lads, thank you very much for your time on this Sunday evening. Pretty much an hour and a half almost done here. So yeah, for anybody listening, if you want to go down and check out the actual lifting and see the best Ireland has to offer, you can head down to ABS Powerlifting on the 12th and 13th of March. If you cannot make it, KiloCast will be doing a live stream for about a tenner. So, you know, you can watch it from the comfort of your own home and just watch the fights that you want to watch. So definitely would recommend checking that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you were upset by any of our opinions, Lawrence has the email below, so you can send all complaints to him. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you in the next one. What is up, people? Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the podcast. Just a quick announcement, myself and Lawrence do have coaching spaces available. So if you're looking to get into powerlifting, if you're looking to become the strongest version of yourself, or achieve the lean physique that you've always been looking for, or even if it's just to improve your nutrition so you can help with your sports performance or gain some healthy habits, we are there to help. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can get in contact through our emails or our Instagram, which are in the description below, and we look forward to helping you achieve your goals.